Hi, Libra. It's Angela, Grounded Dreamers. How are you? We're here to do your soul guidance reading for June 2022. This is for Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising. It's a general reading, but it could also be for someone from another sign, or if you have Libra in another area of your chart that you want to focus on. This is for it's a general guidance, but it really could pertain to you at any given time. And so when you choose to open this video and listen to it, right, that's when the timing is right for you to receive the message. I usually use an oracle deck to pull one sort of direction or theme for our readings and give us something to focus on. And this time for June of 22, the oracle deck that I'm using is the Native Spirit by Denise, Linn. And we're going to see what we got for you, Libra. Okay, so your guidance is the Spirit Keeper of the West. This depicts transitions, right? In the sort of the medicine wheel in indigenous cultures, the West represents the endings, right? Setting sun, the waning moon, it represents transitions. It sometimes can represent ends of, the closing out of chaos, right? It's just shifting from one experience to the next. But you may be facing some endings, or you may have an aspect within yourself that you want to transform, that you want to, sort of put in the back burner and create a new way of seeing things and doing things. If you happen to be, say, I don't know, tending to be envious or jealous, and it's uncomfortable for you, and you're kind of tired of having that response to things, when you're feeling left out, you may want to start to focus on that and transform that aspect of yourself so that you can experience things in a new way, in a new, more fully embodied way, right? So let's take a look at the Zen cards here and talk about the Spirit Keeper of the West, or transitioning from one state of being to another, or from one life situation to another. Okay, your starting point, exhaustion. Yeah. So it's time for something to cycle out. You're done. You've used up all the energy that you can toward it. And it's time to move away from it. It's time to let it rest, let it lie, let that sun set. Okay, that's your starting point. So if this resonates for some of you, great. If not, if you, oh no, I'm not, I'm good, I'm still going, I'm not wiped out, then perhaps think about energetically, if not your physical energy, but your spiritual energy. Like, do I want to keep putting my spiritual energy into this topic, or into this way of being, or into this relationship, or whatever, in the way that I've been doing it, right? It's time to transform it. So consider that. Internally, and the inner support, the inner energy that's within you that goes along with this sense of exhaustion, we got sorrow. Oh, maybe there's a loss for some of you. It could be, this could be literally a loss, and it's completely, wiped out your entire being, because we do have endings here too. It could be a loss, or it could be just be, speaking of endings and setting suns and things fading away, maybe I've been sad for a long time and I'm done. Maybe it's time to move from sadness toward something more hopeful. Maybe that's exhausted me completely. Maybe there's a little bit of depression here that we need to move from. But this is a mental energy. And, the way you might perceive things has gotten you feeling this way, feeling wiped out. So it's time for a new perspective, right? Let's see what that is. Just acknowledging and allowing sorrow or sadness to be there, and to allow yourself to feel it thoroughly. It speeds up the process of moving it out of your experience. It sets that sun for you. But sometimes we're afraid to face our fears. We're afraid to face our sorrow. And so it keeps it in our experience, in our existence, until we're ready to process it, right? Until we're ready to close it out. And so that's just something else to consider there. Okay. But look at this in your external world, in your day-to-day waking life, you're beginning to realize, or you're being called to acknowledge and recognize that you are creating all of your experiences. Now, I know people have a hard time hearing that. It's like, what? I didn't put this, I don't know, horrible person in my life or whatever, but we're creating every experience, because even in the challenging times, those are put there for us to grow from. Times of challenge and conflict we're expected to grow from it. We're expected to, see it in a way that allows us to transform, instead of feeling dumped on or feeling weighed down by, negative experiences or whatever. We have the opportunity to see that, oh, this heavy energy is there for me to learn, how to process it quicker, or how to transform it quicker. That way of doing things, that old way of doing things and feeling weighed down by my sad feelings is coming to an end, because now I'm realizing my power in this, right? This is like third chakra energy. This is your area of self-empowerment, your gut, your will, right? And you have this, you got this. Okay, Libra? The key to moving forward here, and this is sort of like a pivoting energy. This is, and yeah, it's trust. If you get to this place where you can just begin to trust the process of life, even the sad times, the very joyful times and the sad times, if you can get to the place where you trust that it's all happening for you to learn and grow from, that makes the path easier. That helps you to ascend and move to another level of awareness. This is a really important card in this spread, because this being is flying through the air, sight unseen, no idea if they're going to land or keep soaring, or tumble down to the ground, but it doesn't really matter, because they're trusting that the universe will always provide what they need in order to move forward. This is really, really an act of faith, to trust in the unseen. Your next point of awareness, then, once you can get this down and get the vibration of, okay, the way I've been doing it and the heavier vibrations, I'm gonna do away with that. I'm gonna move out of that. I'm gonna let the sun set on that and start to take a little more action and acknowledgement and responsibility for the choices I make. And then I'm gonna trust that I have the support of the universe to move me forward. Then you arrive, oh, look, your next point, your landing point on your higher self sort of vibration level here is silence. Then you sit with it, right? You closed it out. The time that the sun has set, I can find a new way of approaching this stuff. I'm going to trust it, but I must also sort of just pause and wait and listen for the signs. And know that all the tools that I need are coming my way in order to transform my life. I just need to be quiet enough for long enough so that I recognize it. And within you, yep, slowing down. Look at that. Internal energy and your sort of next level landing point are both vibes of saying, you know what, let's just pause. Okay. Yeah, I had this other way of being, I had this loss, or, I'm acknowledging a part of myself that I want to let go of that brings me down. I've tried everything I can and I'm ready to let it go. I'm ready to put an end to it. And I must also, once it's over, once it's behind me, once that spirit keeper of the West has taken over, I need to just chill for a minute. I need to sit with it, rest with it, take a pause. No real assertive action is needed. Okay. This is kind of a nice, once you've done all the work, then you get to go, oh, okay, let's see where the energies go now. And look at that. The final one is letting go. So this is what allows you to fully let go and to fully close the door and set the sun on that vibration of whatever this was. If this was a physical situation, or an internal aspect of you that you're working on and trying to shift and transform, there comes a time once you've released it to not trudge forward onto the next thing, but to sit with that energy and be with the achievement that you've just made, and then fully let go. No regrets, no more sorrow over it. No, oh, but I should have, and I would have done this. Let it go. Let it move all the way from your experience so that you can begin to create again. This card here, this creator card, I feel is a big key to the whole spread. And this may be something that some of you may have not realized yet, or may have not fully embodied, that the things that come about in your life are, they're there for you, but there's a like a spiritual side, the spiritual part of you that's kind of calling for some of this stuff to happen, putting things in your path that's a challenge, or putting real joyous experiences in your path. All of that is happening for you by spirit, but with your permission, with your spiritual permission, right? That a lot of these things that happen in our life just are there for our growth, our pure growth. And once we get it, then we get a rest in the knowledge of it, and we get to absorb the lessons that we've just learned. So I love this. I hope that this kind of made sense for some of you. And, it's a process. We don't always just, oh, I'm going to get it, and now I'm the creator of my experience. It's a process, and it's little increments of realizations, and letting those add up and accumulate until we are in a new level of being, and we are seeing things from a new lens. And then we get to take all that we've learned there and create new from that. Okay. Thank you so much. It was great to sit with you guys, and I'll see you again really soon. Okay. Thanks, Libra. Love you guys.